Hello, good evening and welcome to the IBP 2020 Journalism Awards. I'm in the IBP Westminster studios with Nick Ferrari. Socially distanced, I may add, but then we always did that in any case. Here's a message from our president, Tom Broughton, Managing Director of Assemble Media Group.
Hello. On behalf of IBP, I'm delighted to welcome you to this year's awards, and with it being a little different to normal. You don't need me to tell you that it's been a really difficult time. The challenges facing the built environment, media and communications industry have been enormous. However, the response from this community has been exceptional and in really difficult circumstances. Magazines have continued to be produced. Journalists continue to tell stories and share events to millions of unique users as the world flocked online. Crisis PR campaigns kicked in and were delivered often around the clock too. And Gerald and the team have worked tirelessly to keep IBP front of mind and bring you this year's digital awards. Today, we pause to recognise and celebrate the very best journalism, people and brands in the built environment. I'd like to congratulate all of our shortlisted finalists on the quality of their entries and wish them all the very best of luck. I'd like to thank all of our judges for their time, diligence and insight. And I'd like to thank you and all of our sponsors for your patience and continuing support in making this event happen. Finally, thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all in the future when we can have a drink again, as the last 6 months have reminded us of the power of this community and bringing people together. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the show.
Thank you very much for your good wishes, Tom. And now on to one of our long-standing supporters, both as a sponsor in the past and as one of our very important judges. Can I introduce Mike Leonard, CEO of Building Alliance.
Well, good evening, and thank you for this opportunity to speak about the judging of the International Building Press Awards. I'm very honoured and delighted to have been involved with these awards since the mid-80s, in fact. And I think it's important here to pay tribute to Gerald, who's been unstinting in his efforts to make sure that these awards have continued over such a long period of time. And I think that they are incredibly important because they recognise the excellent journalism that supports and reports upon the construction industry that I love, but deals with some of the challenging issues and no more so than this year's judging. So a big thank you to Gerald and a big thank you to all of those who are involved in reporting and writing objectively about the construction industry.
And now to the programme proper. As always, there are instructions for us all. This is to all sponsors and nominees. Once you've been invited to the main stage, you will see an alert pop up on your screen. You need to accept that pop-up to join us here on the studio main stage. Once the winner of each award is announced, a picture will be taken. The award winner and sponsor will need to fill the window of their computer screen fully. From there, we are able to transport you miraculously into the studio and take your photograph. There's an example. Thank you very much. Well, as I said earlier, I'm here with Nick Ferrari in the Westminster studio. There's Nick. There is some distance between us. He insists upon it. But Nick, it's now a year
Yes.
since we last did this gig together. And,
Yes.
And one of the point
And
sheet.
your readings got no better. I'm looking forward to it. You're still struggling with the script. Have you not changed your bloody glasses? For God's sake.
They're still.
You're still looking like you're reading words for the first time. These are very easy words.
National health classes.
Right, yeah.
1947.
Okay.
However,
Yes, sir.
you bored us all to tears
I
with
have.
the fact that you were going to see the Prime Minister
Oh,
the
indeed.
next day.
Yes, yes.
How did that go, and how do you think he's doing
Okay.
in his first year?
Okay. Thank you, and thanks for the privilege of being with you, everybody. Just before can I just say, you know what I'm looking forward to today, friends and colleagues, is actually looking at the backdrops of the people who are joining us. We heard from Tom. He looked as though there was a sort of kitchen in home base being built behind him, absolute bland walls. And then we also heard from Mike, who seemed to have a TARDIS growing out the top of his head. So watch these videos. It's going to be fantastic as we go into people's homes, even if they don't want us. It's a bit like being back on the news of the world. As for Boris Johnson, a year ago, Gerald, I suppose he was, he still had a wife, but he was 15 pounds heavier. Now he's divorced and he's about 2.5 million pounds lighter, so it moves on. He's self-isolating, probably for his own good. There are other gags, but let's not do them. Let's move to the first award, and I'm looking forward to that backdrop as much as you are. Before I introduce it, though, it is the Architecture Writer of the Year. This is sponsored by Grimshaw Global. And here, a word from our sponsor, who hopefully will join us on stage in just a moment.
The IBP Journalism Awards evening is always a firm fixture in my calendar. It provides a great opportunity for our practice to network with the best journalists in the industry. It helps me personally to maintain good relations with the best architectural writers out there, and it helps Grimshaw's brand to align with their publications. The Architectural Writer of the Year category is a very hotly contested award. It's the one they all want to win, and the standard is always really high. I really look forward to seeing who's on the shortlist each year.
Martin's been sent to the loft. I think we can all say that. He's having to work from the loft, but he's doing a brilliant job, and hopefully we'll hear from him in a moment. This year's submissions tackled many issues, my friends, facing architecture, but they also reflected wider topics outside of the sector. There was some authoritative writing, fine descriptions, and strong comment pieces that challenged accepted norms. And let's hopefully now bring Martin Davis, Marketing and Communications Lead, Europe and Middle East, Grimshaw Global, to the stage. Martin, good evening. Can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Great to have you on board. I should be asking everybody, can I ask you, what drink are you enjoying to take us through this evening? What have you got in front of you?
I have water and I have red wine.
Water and red wine. Well, let's see if you'll be lifting the glass to celebrate the nominations. Who's your money on, Martin, as I go through these nominees? And remember, in a moment, Martin, I'm going to ask you to look down the barrel of the lens for a photo, but you want to hear those nominations as much as I do. And they are as follows. Ike IJ of London Architecture Works. Elizabeth Hopkirk of Building Design. Robert Wilson is at the Architects Journal. Now, the judges felt the winner's entry was a terrific series of articles, every feature jam-packed with details and insights, giving the reader a window into something they might never have come across. The writer enjoys a distinctive style, playful but never indulgent, combined with a deep understanding of the subject. The judges enjoyed modern cultural references, the humour, and the writing that was effortless and always accessible. Time to put the winner out of their misery. Let's hope they're standing by as I say the winner is Robert Wilson of Architects Journal. Robert.
Hi.
And here
Thank
you are,
very much.
Robert. Congratulations.
Congratulations,
Great
Rob.
to see you. You are joining us from an art gallery. You live in an art gallery. There's thousands of pounds worth of art on the walls behind you. Gentlemen, I'd ask you, just as I remind you, just look straight into the barrel of the lens for that marvellous picture with a great big beamy grin, if you would. That's superb. And let me just ask you, Robert, a brief word. The best article you submitted this year, what would you say it was?
Oh, that's a difficult one. I don't know.
They're all so good.
Yeah.
They're all so brilliant.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks again.
Yeah.
One last look down the lens at me, if you would, just before you go. Remember, Robert, you can look forward to a call from Daisy. My thanks to both you, Robert, and also to you, Thanks, Martin. Have a great evening. That's a great look down the lens. Thank you. We move on to
Congratulations.
our
Thank you very
second
much.
award. Gents,
Thank you.
Have a good night. Thank you. My friends, on to the second award, which is the Construction and Infrastructure Writer of the Year, sponsored by Wilmot Dixon. And here's a word from our sponsor, who, again, will hopefully join us in stage in just a moment.
I really enjoy sponsoring the IBP Awards. It gives me a chance to meet some great journalists whose work I read on a daily basis. They do some fantastic stuff, and for me, the IBP Awards is a just occasion to reward and recognise what they do provide for the industry, which is a great service, and to actually meet them in person, say hello, and hopefully move on from that relationship in terms of what we can do in the future.
Thanks, Andrew. Now, the judges congratulate all those who submitted entries to this very competitive category this year, entries of a consistently high standard. They were impressed with the insight and the topical flavour of these comprehensive and well-structured articles, so well done. The skillful presentation of complex technical and sequencing information in a readily understandable format, so important in the category, was, said the judges, clearly evident. So, can I call to the stage to present this award? I think is it Andrew Gaskell from Wilmot Dixon? Do we go there? Or is it Andrew Gelder? It's definitely an Andrew. Which Andrew would like to step up? Or shall we go to the winner? While we work that out, why don't I give you the nominations? Because and remember, you've got to step up to your queue as soon as you quickly can. I think, Andrew Gaskell, we have you. Andrew, is that you, sir?
It is. Apologies, it took a while to load up.
Hello, Andrew. Thank you for joining us. Thank you very much indeed. That's Andrew Gaskell from Wilmot Dixon. Great to have you on board, sir. Let me read you the nominations, and thank you for your support. Those nominations are Rob Horgan of New Civil Engineer, Jordan Marshall at Building, Ian Winefass at Construction News, and Fran Williams at Architects Journal. Well done all. Now, the winner's 3 well-structured articles are packed with detail and well presented. There's a hard-hitting piece on cladding battles, benefiting from in-depth research and close attention to detail. And the judges were overall impressed by the imaginative and determined approach to research and information gathering. There's a highly commended here, my friends, and that goes to Rob Horgan of New Civil Engineer, but only one winner. And remember, you will be getting a call from Daisy as well, so look out for that to join in. The winner is Ian Winefass of Construction News. Look at Ian, sat there on his new sofa with a bookcase behind him. You have to have books to show that you're well-read and you're learned. Congratulations. Well done, sir. Guys, just look straight down the barrel of the lens at me while we take that fantastic picture, if you will. Congratulations to you, Ian. Well done. Can I ask you, cladding battles, I assume that's something that we are all very concerned about. This is the 3 million people or something who have this hideous Grenfell-style cladding. Is that what you're working on here?
Actually, that piece was about a number of well-known hotel chains that have had flammable or combustible cladding installed on them, and their attempts to, or lack of attempts to remediate them, and was an area that's not had as much attention as some of the others.
Ian, I'm going to ask you to do something that I don't ask that many men to do. Can you come closer? I need you to come closer for that photograph, please. If you shuffle your picture board, you're in a great place, by the way, Andrew. And that's it. I think we're in a good place now. And just stare at me for a few more seconds, because you're going to love that slide when we do it. And I'm going to count from 5 to 4 to 3 to 2 and 1, and good night. Thanks ever so much, gentlemen. Well done, Ian. Congratulations, Andrew. Thank you very much indeed. Very much for stepping up. Okay, we move on, my friends. News Reporter of the Year, sponsored by IBP, and a word now from one of our judges. It's Peter Roper.
When I was first approached by Gerald to become a judge, I felt really proud and privileged. And in the years that I've been involved in the process, I still feel privileged and proud to be able to read the work of some of the country's leading journalists, and in some small way showcase these talents to the wider community, and of course recognise their individual talents. In preparing for the judging process, I make sure that I'm not interrupted. But all I really do is just simply read the entries as if I would if I were a subscriber to that magazine or to that newspaper. If each of the 3 entries demonstrate an ability to encourage me to read to the end, show passion and an outstanding journalistic ability, then that entry will receive my top marks. It's as simple as that.
Never interrupt Peter Roper. Thank you for those words. Now, the overall standard was good and reflects the fact that standards of journalism are being maintained in, let's be honest, my friends, pretty difficult circumstances. And this year's crop of articles shed light on serious issues that affect the sector at the moment. So listen to the nominations. Pete Apps from Inside Housing, Lucy Heath from Inside Housing, and Jack Simpson from Inside Housing. I think I feel pretty confident this is going to Inside Housing, and if they could go to the newsroom, it could be a tricky place tomorrow, but they probably can't. The winner, though, has a clear, strong style. The journalism is probing, challenging, and investigative. Doesn't hold back in pursuing the story. Let's be honest, it could be any one of the 3, but it is Jack Simpson of Inside Housing. Jack, welcome aboard. Thank you very much indeed. Just give me an absolutely still look and a smile as much as you want to. I'd be very grateful. And you do that, and we get a shot. Whoa, we get a shot of you. Thank you very much indeed. Of the 3 articles you submitted, which gave you the most pleasure, would you say, Jack?
I think probably the first one, which was on the issue you just described, the issue of thousands of people not being able to sell their homes because of dangerous cladding on them. Took quite a lot of work, so happy with that one.
And it's a very live issue. Jack, just one last look at me as I count to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we've got what we need. Jack, thank you very much indeed. Congratulations to you. Well done. Let's move to Feature Writer of the Year. This is sponsored by ACOM. And we're joined now by the sponsor, Harriet Hindmarsh from ACOM.
Hi, Nick.
Harriet, good evening to you. Thanks for joining us on board. I'd like to ask, what drink are you using to get you through this evening's proceedings?
I'm drinking white wine.
But that's not enough, Harriet. We need to know actually the type of wine.
Right, okay. So it's a Sauvignon Blanc from Marlborough. It's at Villa Maria.
Okay, $6.95 at Lidl. Things aren't going well, but congratulations. Well done to you. Harriet, back to you in a moment. The judges want to congratulate all those who submitted entries this year, with entries in this popular category showcasing the contribution of in-depth research to the revealing and informative nature of the presentation of the facts. Now, Harriet Hindmarsh, the Vice President of Enterprise and Marketing and Communications, is with me on the stage to listen to Harriet with me as I go through a really healthy field of nominations, which is great. Pete Apps of Inside Housing. Nathaniel Barker is at Inside Housing. Zach Garner-Perkis is at Construction News. Martina Lees, writing for the Sunday Times and the Times. Jack Simpson at Inside Housing. And Richard Waite at the Architects Journal. Now, 3 hard-hitting, well-constructed articles from the winner, say the judges, were presented in a fluid style, being informative and engaging. The judges found the collaborative piece, here's a clue, on the new airport in Istanbul insightful, reflecting the skillful application of in-depth research, plus the piece drawing attention to slave labour in London and the slavery in the supply chain were powerful and revealing. The comprehensive and fearless approach gave insight to issues affecting the lives of many. Highly commended goes to Pete Apps from Inside Housing, but the winner is Zach Garner-Perkis from Construction News. Zach, welcome. And I think, Harriet, you'd agree with me, a man who's come dressed to win. He's wearing a suit and tie, so he looks...
He does indeed.
Guys look straight at me. He does indeed look straight at me as we get that great shot. That's fantastic. Thank you very much indeed. Zach, none of us can fly, but if any of us were going to go to Turkey, to Istanbul airport, What's so special about it? Is it massive? Is it huge? Is it terrible? In a couple of sentences, what should we know about the airport?
Very unscrupulously built, and yeah, I would be worried about the quality of some of the stuff there. So be careful if you go there.
Zach is brought to you by the Turkish Tourist Board, so thank you very much indeed. Just look at us one last time for a nice shot. Harriet, look at me if you would, and we'll go 3 and 2 and 1. Thank you very much indeed. Well done, Zach. Thank you ever so much, Harriet. Very grateful to you on that. So thank you. We go to the business, and Zach, you'll be getting a call, of course, from Daisy. We go to the Business Financial Journalist of the Year, sponsored by IBP. So a word now from one of our judges. It's to Peter Bill. Peter.
I think there is a temptation while you're judging to go, well, back in my day, it was all much better and much different. And we had proper journalists then, and big fat magazines, and fearless publications, and that it's all gone to pot. Well, it hasn't gone to pot at all, actually. I was absolutely delighted by the standard of the half a dozen or so winning entries. They've got to work far harder now than they had when I was a boy. We had sort of unlimited budgets, big fat magazines, lots of newspapers around, lots of correspondence around. And it was a bit easier, frankly, for us to operate back in the day. So it's less easy to operate in a more restricted environment that we have now. But the pieces that we got through were bang on the money.
Thanks, Peter. And I was impressed by your bookshelves. Not many people have titles about Orwell, Winston Churchill, and a cookbook from Delia Smith. So I think that's something that should be on all our shelves. Now, the pandemic has affected property in so many ways. The entrance in this category, exploring how it affects their particular readerships, whether in housing, building, or in shopping centres. Some looked at the big picture, others at individual situations, but they all gave colour and comprehension on an, how many times have you heard this word, my friend? Unprecedented problem. Plenty of other subjects, though, including how the property world is encompassing ESG, that's environmental, social and governance issues, and the best entries combining original content with stylish writing. It's everything you need, isn't it? So who are those nominations? Well, here we go. Listen out. Luke Cross from Social Housing, Mike Phillips from Biz Now, and David Price from Construction News. Now, the winner in the category tackled big and important subjects: the aftermath of the Grenfell tragedy, the new and changing impact of coronavirus, an ability to get good quotes from his subjects. He's not scared to attack, said the judges. It was hard-edged journalism and well-written. He knows who he is. I'm going to tell the rest of you. Congratulations. Step forward. The camera's on you. David Price of Construction News. David, well done. Congratulations to you. Another man with a study lined with fine works of art. And I think you've got a few birds behind you. Is that correct? Can I just ask you, what are the birds over your left shoulder?
There's a blue tit. There's a sparrow, I think, at the top as well. They're not mine.
Fantastic. A blue tit and a sparrow. What more do you need? Stare me right in the eye just while we get that picture that we need. And I count from 3 to 2 to 1 to 0. Thank you. Just tell me a little bit again, the ongoing tragedy of Grenfell. Do you think the government is waking up to it enough?
No. That particular story was about Royden, who are the main contractor, being pointed to the largest framework the government's ever put out. So companies which were involved with that are still winning work, which raises a lot of questions.
And what drink are you got in front
I
of
got
you
a
for
Strella. It was 10 for £8 in Sainsbury's. There are other supermarkets.
10 for £8. Fantastic. Well, the pay rise you'll get as a result of winning one of the awards, you can just walk through that. Congratulations. Enjoy your award. Enjoy your beer. And thank you. David Price, thank you very much indeed for that. We move, my friends, to the Housing and Residential Journalist of the Year. This is sponsored by Barratt Developments. And here is a word from our sponsor, who hopefully will join us in a moment. It's to Derek Harris.
As the country's leading house builder, it's really important to us to support the very best journalism in the property and construction sector. That's why we've supported the residential category of the IBP Awards for the last 3 years. The IBP Awards attract the best journalists from across the sector. You've only got to look at who's been shortlisted over the last few years. It's the very best writers from titles such as the FT, the Sunday Times, the Times, Inside Housing, Building, Construction News and AJ. And that's why it's great to be associated with them.
Very serious looking Derek Harris. Derek, thank you for that. Now, here we had a great range of topics from competing journalists reporting for the same magazine, from high profile policy to strong personal stories and to interviews. They've got everything, haven't they? There was real specialist insight from journalists, said the judges, good contacts and good understanding. At a time when the country is focusing on the issues of COVID, it was refreshing, said the judges, to see journalists really exploring the consequences for their sector. So listen up, here comes the winner. Pete Apps from Inside Housing, Nathaniel Barker from Inside Housing, and Lucy Heath from Inside Housing. Yes, we know where it's going. Now, the winner offered consistently strong articles, well written, with good analysis and quotes. That could be any one of them. The writer provides insight on issues affecting the sector. There has never been an issue as important to people as there is of COVID-19. So who is the winner? Delighted to say that we've heard his name a few times before. We welcome, cameras on you, Pete Apps of Inside Housing. Can you imagine? Fame knocks on the door. You're called 3 times, and sadly, we don't have Pete Apps of Inside Housing. But I believe we can call on his colleague from whom we heard earlier. Do we have Jack Simpson who can collect on Pete's behalf? Or shall I make off with the trophy, and not for the first time in my career? And I think I may well be running off with a trophy. We're going to move on, my friends. We'll try and hold on to it. I don't know if Lucy will contact you, or even Daisy will contact you. We will see whether Daisy will contact you. And now who have we got here? Michael, we got 2 people. This is so exciting. We've got you, Jack. Now, who's looking over your corner, Jack? Who's that?
That's my girlfriend, Lucy. She's very interested in events tonight.
I just said Lucy. That is... Can I ask you?
No, her ears were burning.
The organisers want Lucy to accept the award, if that's all right, on Pete's behalf. Can you move out now, please, and we'll get Lucy in frame? Would you be prepared to do that? That's Lucy. Hello, Lucy. How lovely to welcome you to the awards. Lucy, what drink are you enjoying tonight?
A cup of tea.
A cup of tea. Lucy, what does it mean to you to collect this award on behalf of Pete Apps? What does it mean to you, Lucy?
Well, I know they all work very hard, so I'm pleased for him.
If I can ask you, Jack and Lucy, look me straight in the eye. We're all going to stay absolutely still for probably the most extraordinary picture in the history of IBP. Thank you for having a sense of humour. 3, 2, 1. It's a thumbs up, Lucy. Thanks for having a sense of it. Jack, I'm very grateful. Thanks for playing along with the game. Have a great night, guys. Thank you very much indeed. Poor old Pete Apps. I think that's the 3rd time I've read his name. Okay, we move on. Fame's a brutal game. New journalist, Journalist of the Year, sponsored by the Build Environment Trust. And a word now from our sponsor, who hopefully will join me in just a moment.
The Built Environment Trust, which owns the Building Centre, also supports Young Journalist of the Year, and that's something we're very keen to be involved with, because supporting young journalists is important for all of those reasons I've just listed, to have new voices, to hear new angles, new critiques and new interesting ideas about the built environment, about architecture, about design, about exhibitions and events, about the world that we live in. So we need that voice, and I think the IBP provides a unique and important opportunity for us all to listen to what journalists have to say and to celebrate their work afresh. And I think the role of journalists can be the unsung heroes, really, of the built environment. So it's really nice to have them centre stage.
Oh, Vanessa, thank you. Journalists are called many things. Unsung heroes might be one of the rare ones, but I'm very grateful, Vanessa. Thank you. Now, in this area, there were some strong submissions in the category, powerful writing, probing interviews, and first-class research. All, as the judges said, the hallmarks of good journalism. The judges were impressed by how quickly these young journalists grasped the complexities of the industry after pretty much little time writing about it, and how they used the full range of regular or classical techniques and digital. Now, IBP is delighted to be associated with the initiative created by the sponsor, the Built Environment Trust, to award a bursary to all 3 finalists in this category. So congratulations. Each of the 3 nominees will be commissioned to produce an article that explores and encourages innovation in the built environment area and reflects the role of the trust to provide support for educational, research and cultural activities. So congratulations, your winners already, you 3 nominees, who are Lucy Heath from Inside Housing, Megan Kelly from Construction News, and Thomas Lowe from Building. Winners all, but only one overall winner, and a journalist with great potential. The submission revealed a confident and engaging style, smoothly blending fact, chat and stories. The information was revealing and the opinion measured. The submission included an excellent and revealing interview and a feature where different voices were woven together to paint a picture of how leaving the EU has impacted construction workers. There was a commended here, so well done to Lucy Heath in Inside Housing. There was a highly commended here too. That goes to Megan Kelly of Construction News, so you've worked out already. The winner, well done, come to the stage, Thomas Lowe of Building. Or not. We'll give one. I fear we tried to build to a mighty climax there, but without any joy. Thomas, if you can hear us, we will hopefully get in touch with you via Daisy, but your moment has passed for now. So, Gerald.
Thank you, Nick. We're going to take a break there. I've got to rub some embication into Ferrari's nether regions and give it.
Where did that come from?
I've no idea.
We've walked through this twice. That has not been suggested once. What the hell are you up to? Never go off script, love. It always goes wrong.
No, I've got to have some fun somewhere. Anyway, folks,
it's been a while.
Enough of this frivolity. We will be back in 10 minutes.
Well, I might not know.
You will be going back into your sponsors' rooms for another chat, or if you're at home, open another bottle and make a cup of tea. We'll see you in a moment. Don't go away. Welcome back. I've been asked to explain what embrocation means. Apparently, Mr. Ferrari doesn't think anybody out there understands that you rub it in to body parts to make them more supple. Not that he needs any help in that direction.
That's made it so much better.
So we've really got a treat. Here are some messages for you from our leading editors.
Preparing for the IBP Awards is something you basically do the whole year. We get up every day and we try to do an outstanding job for our subscribers. But some days we achieve something we know goes above and beyond what we'd normally expect to achieve. Something that makes a real difference to people in our industry. Sometimes that might be around a topic like exposing slavery, or campaigning for a minority, or uncovering things nobody ever suspected. When we achieve something like that, there's always a light bulb that goes off in the back of our minds to say, let's keep that in mind for the IBP Awards. Our motivation for entering these awards is to celebrate what we do. As an editor, I know it means a lot to my team to be entered into the IBP Awards, to be shortlisted, and I can tell you we all really want to win. It's not so much about beating the competition, although there's inevitably an element of that, but it's mostly about saying we've done great work. Look at what we've achieved. We are the best at what we do. Specialised awards, you really can say that when you win. Construction News was named Magazine of the Year in 2018, and I really want to see us named Brand of the Year in 2020. It means a lot to get the endorsement of the IBP Awards. I'm relatively new to this industry and I've only been to one IBP Awards ceremony, but I could immediately tell it was an awards event with a great atmosphere, a great sense of friendly rivalry in the room. And I know that's down to Gerald's unique leadership style. It's such a shame we can't all meet again in the same room in 2020, but I know Gerald has bent over backwards to make this virtual event as special as possible for everyone involved. And even if we can't physically lift a trophy on the night, we definitely still want to win.
I think there's a curiosity to see that what others have been doing, and to benchmark yourself against the closest competition. So there's well-established and well-respected titles covering this specialist sector. So it's a real challenge to compete against journalists in this field. And if you happen to be the title or the journalist to win in a category in a particular year, it's a real achievement and one to celebrate. I think I seek recognition for the work that we do because it's immensely motivating for the team. Day in, day out, our journalists work really hard to hit relentless deadlines and to stack stories up, to craft features and comment pieces, to use new platforms to broadcast their coverage. And sometimes you need to take that moment just to reflect on the significance of that body of work. Even just putting the submissions together is rewarding because you realise the sheer breadth and depth of a year's worth of coverage. And there's nothing better than seeing talented colleagues receiving wider recognition from the industry.
For me, the first thing that comes to my mind when the call for entries hits the screen is really a reflection on what we've been doing over the course of the last year. So it's normally quite an exciting time where I look back and think about what's worked well, and really the quality of the journalism we've been doing, and the quality of the research and analysis, and how that reflects just the incredible quality of the staff, and the production values that we've got on Inside Housing. So for me, it's a period of reflection about the quality of the work we've been doing, and that's the first thing that comes to mind.
It's always been really important to Dezeen to enter and hopefully win awards. In the early days, it was because we were doing something very different from everyone else. We were the first professionally run architecture and design magazine that was purely digital in the world. And some people didn't understand that in the early days, and some people thought it would never work. So entering and winning awards was really important to establish that we were really here for the duration and could do quality work. So there's an important degree of validation that comes from winning awards, and of course it's fantastic for the morale of the team and for everyone to look back and think, wow, that was a really great year.
IBP Awards are a really important part of the awards landscape for us, and for the AJ it's about celebrating and marking what our team has achieved through the year. Particularly in this extraordinary year with so much challenge and change, it's about celebrating the strength of our journalism, both within the team and the wider industry. It is always great to be nominated and to be in such strong company. If we are lucky enough to do so, it is always amazing to win an award.
Thanks to all the editors. I don't know, what is the collective noun for a group of editors? Is it a brilliance? Is it a confusion? I don't know, but thanks to you all. Now, before we get on to the next series of awards, we just bring up the slide if we can, my friends, just once more. So this is what we want to achieve for all the winners. And to do that, if you think I'm asking you to move forward or back, I apologize in advance, but we just need to clear a little bit of room above the top of your heads. We've done fine with all the preceding ones, but it's been a little bit close on a couple of occasions. So if you just take a look at that, that's the shot we're going to get if you're fortunate enough to be a winner. So thanks for bringing that up as we move on to the event of the year. And that is sponsored by Live Group. So let's hear a word from the sponsor, Toby Lewis.
Certainly with the event category, the IBP Awards is a quite exciting thing for us to be involved with, because we get to see some incredible array of different events that are out there in the industry, rather than just our own. Sponsoring the IBP Awards Live Group is incredibly important to me personally. We've been involved with them and Gerald for decades now, and I think it's very important that we highlight these amazing areas in the industry where people are doing this fantastic work. I think at the end of the day, being a sponsor of the IBP Awards ups our game at the Live Group. We get to see some incredible entries into the event category, making their way through to the nominees. I'm delighted to be part of the judging process as well. And I can take a lot of that experience and know-how back to the organisation. And of course, we get to invite our lovely clients to sit on tables, although virtual this time. Hope to see them again sometime very soon.
Toby, thank you. Getting a unique fashioning look there, nailing an Aztec rug to the wall of his downstairs toilet. Toby, thank you for that. Let's welcome to the stage Marcus Naif, who's his colleague, who's going to help give out this award. Marcus, welcome to you. And can I just ask you, I need to know the drink that's getting you through this evening, sir.
Silverback gin and tonic from a local brewery.
Well, we love that. Well done. Well, that
well.
Well, that's got to be worth a bottle of tonic, if not the gin. Thanks ever so much, Marcus. Back to you in a moment. Marcus, let me tell you about the judges here. They felt the 3 finalist entries covered the entry criteria with engaging content and creativity. The submission showed inventiveness and fresh thinking, and they all seem to have adjusted and embraced to that. So those nominations, Marcus, for you and all the others, and of course the nominees. Architects Journal and Architectural Review, EMAP Awards. Building and Assemble Media Group, the Building Awards of 2019, and Dezeen, Virtual Design Festival. Now, in this one, the judges were very impressed with the winning entry. It demonstrated ambition, imagination, and creative flair, plus varied and engaging content, well-branded segments, different offers from interviews to collaborations. Let's face it, they're all in the game still. They had a reduced team. They had a modest budget. The organizer, though, dreamt up a wide range of virtual events which spoke straight to the interests of their community. They quickly and clearly identified where the need might be for sharing information and speedily pulled in an array of impressive, high-profile collaborators. The winner then is the Dezeen Virtual Design Festival, and congratulations to collect the award, Ben Hobson, the content director. Let's get into Ben's house now. And there he is, looking astonished by the news. Ben,
hey,
well done.
Thank you very much.
Well done. I'm going to ask you what I'm going to do, Ben, and I have to say, I don't know whether you can see, Marcus is brilliantly positioned. If you can just, I need you to drop down a little or give me a little more. Oh, yeah. Now I think we're getting. Can you give me a little more headroom, just a little more? And that is absolutely wizard. Okay, quickly, two questions. What drink are you having now to celebrate your victory?
I'm on the fine vintage of Coke Zero.
Well, there we go. It's party time in your house tonight. What was the most challenging part of the awards as you remember them, Ben? Tell me that.
What's that, sorry?
The most challenging part of putting the awards on. What was the biggest hurdle to clear?
Oh, I mean, it was lockdown. It was COVID. We didn't really know what was going to happen. Everything was unknown. We were genuinely concerned about the future of the business. But I think, everyone really pulled together. We had a good idea. We went for it and managed to turn it into a really big success. So, winning this award is great because it's a recognition of that. So, we really appreciate it.
Okay. Well done. Be like Marcus. Look at me directly just for 3, 2, 1. Gents, thank you. Have a great evening. Thank you very much. Congratulations, Marcus. Thanks, Marcus. Thanks for your time. Should we go to the Digital Leadership of the Year, sponsored by IBP, and a word from one of the judges. This is Ruth Slavid. Ruth.
I think the structure of the process actually works well in that we all have looked at the stuff on our own. We've marked down points, and then we can discuss it when we come together. It means that we're talking from a basis of knowledge, and there's still quite a bit of give and take. In terms of it being a foregone conclusion, I think definitely not. We were judging 2 categories. One of them had a fairly small number of entries, and I think there was an obvious standout winner to us. And in that case, we probably could have got there without the judges meeting. But in the other case, we saw a lot of strong entries. There was quite a bit of consensus amongst our voting, but at least one judge had strongly liked a couple of entries that the others hadn't. We discussed that, and we had a long discussion about which entry should be the winner and which should be highly commended.
Ruth, thank you. And Ruth, you join me live now. I've got a question, Ruth. You've got more books behind you than we had in our school library. Have you actually read them all, or are they for effect?
Well, I've read some of them, but actually what I did was I bought up your school library.
Well, it's a very good look. You look very learned. And Ruth, thank you for all your support. And let me tell you about this entry. Now, the judges were delighted here, Ruth, as I know you know, but you and other judges say you'd like to see more nominees in this area. It's an important category. And Ruth and the judges want me to remind you, and all potential entrants that innovation and leadership can occur all sizes of operations. So I would take from that, my friends, there's an opportunity to enter for next year. Ruth, thank you. Here come those nominees. It's Marcus Fairs of Dezeen and Jamie Harris, who's freelance formerly with Building Magazine. Should we cut to the chase? And following on from the previous category winner, Marcus Fairs' smile shone through all 50, yes, 50 interviews he conducted with architects and designers as part of the innovative and highly profitable Virtual Design Festival. Dezeen continues to show impressive growth, turning even COVID pandemic into an opportunity. The winner then is Marcus Fairs of Dezeen, and I think we're into his house now. Marcus, are you sleeping at Terminal 2 that's being rebuilt? What's happening behind you? That's an incredible backdrop. What is going on there, Marcus?
I'm in the office. Remember them?
Oh, now we've got. Oh no, that's perfect. Okay, you're in the office at whatever time. Why are you on deadline? Why so late?
And I've got a very appropriate T-shirt on as well.
And brutalism, got it. Is it deadline night tonight? Is that why you're so late?
No, I just well, we're all working here. We're cutting some videos, and I just also thought that it'd be better to be away from the kids and you know, the nice little quiet space.
Yeah. I remember that feeling decades ago. I just need you to give me a little more headroom. I'm really sorry about this. We wanted this picture to work really well. So can you just, Marcus, can you tilt the camera so I get a little more of the above the top of your head? And Ruth, you're perfect. A little bit more. That's perfect. And just look at me for 3 and 2 and 1. I hope you get home in time to celebrate. Are you allowing yourself a drink in the office, Marcus? Or is that
found in the cupboard.
Oh, Marcus, look.
I haven't drunk all that, by the way. I haven't drunk all that.
So we've got a Jameson and...
It's called the Laddie 10.
The Laddie 10. That's a Scotch, is it?
It's an unpeated Isla single malt.
Well, fantastic. A drop of the hard stuff for both of you. Thanks to both
Congratulations,
of you.
Marcus.
Marcus, I hope
Thank you very much.
Yeah, good. Indeed. Nicely said. Sorry to have interrupted. Well done. Hope you get away from the office soon enough. Thank you. Let's move to the next. And this is the Scoop of the Year, sponsored by FTI Consulting. Let's hear a word from our sponsor who'll join me in a moment.
Well, I've been going to the IBP Awards for the best part of 30 years, and it's the absolute highlight of the built environment media calendar. It's a real gathering of the clans. All the best journalists are there, business magazines, national media, you name it. They all turn up for the IBP Awards. It's a great get together, a great place for interaction and socializing and connecting. I've become a sponsor of the IBP Awards because FTI Consulting, our company, believes strongly in quality journalism. We think it needs to be nurtured. We need to think it needs to be supported. We're very, very loyal to IBP because it's a great brand that's been around a long time, over 50 years now, and stands for everything that's good about built environment media, journalism and communications.
Let's go to Giles' home now, and we're there. Giles, it's a decent display of books, but I have to say, I think Ruth has absolutely trumped you. It's like a pound shop library you've got going on, if you know what I'm saying. But
she's blown me out of the water, Nick, honestly. I can't compete. I'll haul another bookcase over. I have got another one, so.
I think the only way she's going to be beaten if somebody breaks into a Waterstones, in all honesty. That's what we're looking at now. What are you drinking to get you through this evening?
I've got a cup of lemon tea. Shut up and deal with it. Shut up and deal with it on the cup.
What is it? Shut up and deal with it. Oh, there you go. Living the dream. Giles, stay where you are. As I tell you about this can, he's diving into the tea, and why not? Well, Giles, you know this was a highly contested category. There were no weak links, said the judges. Entries demonstrating skill and dedication being applied to coverage of the built environment. Exclusives and investigative journalism all going strong. Nominations, here we are. Louise Clarence Smith at The Times, Joey Gardner at Building, and Jack Simpson at Inside Housing. The winner was miles ahead of the competition with a particular scoop on, here's a clue, the cladding scandal which has left thousands trapped in flats they are unable to sell, may even be millions actually. Step forward, the winner. We're back into his house, Jack Simpson of Inside Housing.
Ferrari.
Jack, you've done it again. Congratulations. This is superb. Is Lucy still in your life? But I don't see her in the background. I'm nervous. He's gone so quiet. I've broken up yet another relationship. Jack, can you hear me? No, I fear we might be treading in difficult waters here. Jack, if you can hear me, can you just give me a little more headroom above your head for a shot? Oh, we've got you, Jack.
I can't
You're instructing
actually
lawyers? What are you saying?
hear what's going on.
You can't hear me. Okay, Jack, just look at me. Just look at me.
I can't hear him. I can't.
You can't hear him.
I can't see. I can't see Nick Ferrari.
I can't see Nick Ferrari. How many times? Yes, honestly. Okay, so just stay still. Stay still. 3, 2, 1. Jack, thank you. We'll maybe try and get that picture. Remember, and thank you indeed of Jude Giles. Thank you very much indeed, Jack. Remember, you can hear me. You will be hearing from Daisy at some point. So thank you very much indeed and well done. Okay. To the editorial brand of the year, sponsored by Marley. And a word now from the sponsor, who hopefully will join me in just a second.
Marley have been sponsors of the IBP Awards for over 20 years now. We're the longest standing sponsor of the awards. And we're really proud to be part of this process, whereby it brings to the fore and recognises the talent within journalism, within the architectural and the construction sectors. The IBP Awards, as we know, have been around for over 50 years now, and it's still very true to the the principles when the awards were launched, but have continually to evolve and move with the times as the world does. And Marley were initially sponsors for many years of magazine, the Magazine of the Year Award weekly, and more recently moved to the editorial brand of the year. But it's just really kept true to its original principles when it's launched, about recognising and showcasing the incredible talent that is within the construction architectural journalism sector.
And into Sarah Harding's home now. Sarah, good evening. Thank you for joining me live. We've broken into your house. I've got to ask you, are you having a wine, a beer, a cup of tea?
Well,
what's
I'm in the
sustaining
office,
you?
so it's a cold cup of tea.
Oh, are you still in the office? It's a very elegant.
It's a very nice office.
My goodness, it's hard work at Marley. Well, thank you very much for all your help. And listen, as I tell you about this judging, what time will you get away? Sorry, I'm not being forward in any way. I was just wondering.
What about 9?
Do you have to say? Yeah, no. Well, okay, with an early meal. Well, I hope the night goes through. Sarah, thank you for all your support. Now, amid, as you will know, as well as anybody, Sarah, the work you do at Marley, unforeseeable events, a testament to the built environment, how effectively titles have reacted to the effects of COVID on the readers, while continuing to cover and campaign on issues about the pandemic. The Best Entries told a powerful story of the brand's unique role in both supporting and provoking readers in a year that none of us will ever forget. So here come those nominees. Sarah, don't move because we need you for that picture in a moment. Architects Journal, Building, Construction News, Dezeen, and Inside Housing. Now, here's what the judges said. This editorial brand for 2020 continues to reinvent itself to terrific effect. By making climate change a focus, it's positioned the brand for the future while supporting and educating its readers. And when race and diversity became defining issues of the year, the title was able to build on work it had begun on 2 years before, giving coverage added momentum and gravitas. In its reaction to the pandemic, the brand struck a superb balance, said the judges, between how-to guides, information data, and a communal sense of creativity in lockdown. Here's what they said, the judges. Vision, focus, great execution makes this title a deserving winner from a strong field of entries. There's a highly commended, so congratulations to, you don't walk away with the prize, but well done, Inside Housing. But scooping the award tonight, step forward, they'll be dancing in the offices of Architects Journal and Emily Booth, the editor. Into Emily's home now. you see the giant trophy?
It's amazing. Thank you very much. It's way to you.
Well, it's what will this mean? What will this mean to your
Oh,
colleagues,
I think
Emily?
it's just great. They're such an amazing team, just the most wonderful editorial team. So we are going to be so delighted about this. This is wonderful. So thank you to the judges. Thank you to the sponsors. It's great. Means a lot.
Great to have you. You're both. I just need Emily. Can I just get a little more headroom? That's perfect. If you two ladies, I mean, I'm just going to count 3, 2, 1. We've got the shot. Have a great evening. Thank you so much, ladies. I hope you get home from work soon. By the way, thank you. Thank you very much indeed. Well done to all the team at Architects Journal. Thank you very much for that. So let's go now to the IBP Journalist of the Year, which, if I'm reading, is my ultimate award, I think, for tonight. And I want to bring Harriet Hindmarsh, Vice President of Enterprise Marketing and Communications, ACOM, to the stage. Harriet, we're here, I think, again. Yes, Harriet, you're
I'm still here.
And remind me what were you drinking when we met?
Now, Nick,
hours ago
I can't
on this
believe you
weekend?
don't remember that. Like me, anything else to do.
Well, I've had a lot on my plate. What is it?
So I'm on the
Remind me.
Sauvignon Blanc, the Marlborough Sauvignon Blanc.
That's right, which
From
you
Lidl.
got from
Lidl.
Waitrose. I've got it now. Absolutely. Harriet, I'm sorry I had fun. And you are positioned so brilliantly, so we've got exactly need you. As we move to my closing moment. So Harriet, don't leave me. Stay with me as I tell you about the aspiring journalists choosing between jobs might consider moving to the built environment. A strange choice, but they'd be wrong. The sector has yielded important stories for many IBP winners in recent years. The pieces in several categories showed not only the strength of contacts in building research, but an ability to highlight relevant facts and present them in a way easily understood by general as well as the specialist readers. This is journalism at its best, or as Gerald wrote, they are journalism at its best. I can't help you with that. And the follow-ups by the national press demonstrate this importance and impact. Should we stop the talk and name the winner? We go back into the home, I think for the third time, Jack Simpson, Inside Housing. Jack! When we last saw his relationship was in trouble with Lucy, I think inadvertently I played a role in that. Jack, are you able to come to the line, or are things so stressed between you and Lucy you can't take the call? It's not going well, Harriet. I'm not going to lie. We seem, unfortunately, to have an issue there. Jack, you pulled off a unique hat trick. Harriet, thank you very much indeed. Thanks. Enjoy that last glug of the old wine. Jack, if you can hear us, that is a unique hat trick. Congratulations. I hope you do it again next year when I can celebrate that. But if not, my best wishes to Lucy, and I'm very sorry if we went too far on that. Shall I hand now to the IBP? Oh, I've been Nick Ferrari, by the way, in the unlikely event I'm ever invited back, to the IBP chairman. Thank you.
Thank you all for joining us at this year's IBP Awards, our first online awards. Although I sincerely hope that we can all be back together in the same room next year to celebrate our industry's amazing journalism and journalists, I think you'll agree that this has been a great way to honour our winners during what has been an incredibly difficult year for many of us. Congratulations to all the IBP 2020 award winners. The judges have all agreed the standard was very high this year, and their comments have reflected that. Particular congratulations go to Jack Simpson for his 3 IBP awards: News Reporter of the Year, Scoop of the Year, culminating in Journalist of the Year. Jack's winning submissions are examples of journalism at its best, showing not only the strength of his contacts, but an ability to highlight the relevant facts and present them in a way that is easily understood by all readers. And the follow-up by national media is testament to this, demonstrating the importance and impact of his stories. Finally, it just falls to me to thank everyone who has been involved in this year's awards, from the judges and sponsors to those who entered, and finally to our organisers and IBP Chief Executive Gerald Bowie, without whom, as ever, we wouldn't have been able to host an IBP 2020 awards ceremony. Thank you, stay safe, and goodbye.
Thank you, Harriet. So there you have it, another year of outstanding journalism, all worthy winners and all worthy entrants. We enjoyed looking at your work. Please continue to send in those great entries. Something to look forward to for the future. We're already planning, post the second lockdown, to come together at a reception in the spring, where we will be handing out your certificates and your checks. So I hope that you'll all stay well until then and join us. I'd like to thank Nick Ferrari, who has attempted, Nick, thank you, who has attempted to give you a flavour of the awards that we have run in live for many, many years. I'd also like to thank the live group, without who we couldn't have brought you most of this evening. One or two people we lost, but then that's because they are still on very old computers like me. It's been a joy to deliver these awards to you this year. Thank you very much for looking in this evening and joining us, and do please join us live, and I mean live, next year. Good evening and stay safe.